We are back.
What's up, y'all? I'm back.
Connecting the
back
dots.
from New York.
About fucking time. Y'all left me hanging.
I done got cussed out. The show haven't been on for 60 seconds, and I'm already getting
Good
cussed out.
thing I got somebody else in the studio. It's your boy GT.
I am Kymmy Cocoa.
And we're your host for Innovative Black Stations, Connecting the Dots.
Yes, we are.
Where we bring everything full circle within our community and outside of our community.
Yes, we do.
So today we're going to talk about Lakeith Smith. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the Syria bombing. We're going to talk about the FBI raid and Donald Trump's lawyer, amongst other things.
Okay.
So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to put you on game. So Kim, what we putting them on game about today?
We are putting you on game about the whole situation that's going on with Trump and the Senate and just a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on. We're just going to talk about, try to break some of the stuff down because it's overwhelming because so much has been going on. We're going to put you up on some of the Senate races that have been going on or that are upcoming. And we are going to put you on game of just period with the U.S. Senate, what their role is and what they do.
Y'all see how shit just flow when she come in? Y'all just see how like it's just. That's why your ass can't go on all these vacations.
We miss you, Kim.
I really don't be going on vacations. I have to go home and visit my family sometimes because I am not from Atlanta. Do you understand that? I am from New Jersey, and sometimes I have to go to New Jersey, and that's just how it is.
So.
Excuse me, sir. Comments are all given on the mic.
So you know
Please
the FBI.
Go ahead and say, wait, we need to find out what Jay Black said. Go ahead.
What you say?
She really from Houston.
I'm not.
H-time.
I'm not from
No,
Houston.
I'm talking about, look, she got drink of her cup, like Kirko.
No, I'm talking
I
about.
am not from Houston, contrary to popular belief.
Your
I
daughter
did
from
live
the
there
South?
for a long time. Now, Raven can say she's from Houston because I raised her there. So, go ahead, sir. What were you going to say?
I was just saying the FBI see recordings between Trump's lawyer and Stormy Daniels' former lawyer. This evidence could prove to be valuable to the government's criminal investigation against Michael Cohen, who is actually under investigation for bank fraud, wire fraud, as well as campaign financial issues as well. So,
the FBI has been on Donald Trump's ass for a minute. This is another investigation. This doesn't have anything to do with the Russia investigation and all that stuff. This is something separate. And Monday, the FBI raided his office at Rockefeller Center. If you're from Manhattan or if you are familiar with New York, it's a very popular area. They film a few shows in that building, and Trump's lawyer is in that building. So you can imagine the stir that it caused when the FBI showed up at that building looking for shit. So they seized recordings from Trump's attorney, and they're going to end up questioning all these people. The recordings could prove valuable from the government's criminal investigation of Michael Cohen. That's the name of the lawyer that was raided. This is via CNN. He is the president's personal attorney, although he's the only client that he has as well. Michael Cohen doesn't have any other clients except Donald Trump. And that is probably because he has a full-time job trying to cover his tracks. Because if you look at what he has done, he has a whole slew of shit going on. He has a company that represents, he has like taxis in New York and real estate and all this stuff. So anyway, the government is thinking that the recordings could prove valuable to them in the criminal investigation of Michael Cohen. The president's personal attorney is under scrutiny in part for his role in seeking to suppress the alleged affair through a hush deal with porn star Stormy Daniels. So, Stormy Daniels is a porn star, and Trump allegedly had an affair with her. We talked about this on a previous episode, and I tell y'all, if y'all don't watch the show, you missed an episode, you missed a lot, because if you knew, then you can follow what's going on. So now, it's a mountain of shit. Stormy Daniels has gone and done her interviews. And I don't understand why y'all don't like Donald Trump, because basically he's just like every other reality show star that everyone follows on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter and is so interested in their lives. And I've said this for a long time, and I'll say it again.
She said that orange motherfucker like to get spanked.
She did say that. She said that when they came in, when they had relations, that he pulled his pants down and wanted her to spank him with a magazine. But anyway, like I said, I think that Trump is a physical manifestation of the spirit of this country. Y'all like hoes, y'all like strippers, y'all like pimps, y'all like gangs, y'all like mafia members. So guess what? That's who's representing our country right now. Because when you hear all these stories, it sounds like you're watching Power, and everybody likes Power. And like I tell people, if y'all don't like that shit, why do y'all keep giving your attention and y'all money and y'all time to that shit? If you want that shit, then that's why it kept showing up in every other area. It shows up in the government, it shows up on your TV, and it shows up in your neighborhood. But I will continue. Cohen is saying he hasn't done anything wrong, and President Trump is saying that this FBI raid is a conflict of the lawyer-client privilege, and it's wrong, and it's a witch hunt, and they're just after me because I'm... He just whines and cries all over Twitter, and they get on and say, everybody is lying but them, is the gist of it.
Money talks.
So
Money talks.
They paid Stormy Daniels allegedly $100 and some odd $1,000, but then they also paid the doorman of Trump Tower because the doorman allegedly knew that Trump had a baby with one of his maids. And it just goes on and on and on. So we'll see how that goes.
At this point, though, like, why do we really give a fuck about anything he does in his personal life? And we not talking about the more serious matters that we got
because
going
I
on
think that the
as a
problem
country.
is that when your personal life, and this is what people
But
don't...
all the presidents had shit going on. All of them.
Okay.
All of them had shit going. It's just we live in a world now to where, like, social media and, you know, like, we can see everything, like, damn near while it's happening.
But this is the thing.
So
I don't care that my homeboy got hoes and he pays prostitutes and he does this and he lives this separate life, but you're not running my country, so you can have hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you do on your personal time because I don't need you to be at 100% in the morning. You can have all the hoes you want, baby, because you're not gonna affect my livelihood. You're not gonna affect.
I mean, if we start getting paid off this show, it's gonna affect your livelihood.
Well, if that comes when that starts, then we're gonna have another conversation. But what I'm saying is, right now, the man that y'all elected to be the face of this country and to make all these ultimate decisions is a trick ass hoe.
Ain't no y'all. I ain't vote.
Well, that's another conversation we're going to have on the next segment.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got to do better, America. You got to do better because this is not cute. And you mean to tell me now, and we're going to talk about Syria, every decision he make is petty. So all of a sudden now we found out about your holes and your jump offs and your side children. Now you want to go bomb Syria. I don't know.
I don't think it's a distraction, though. I just think it's just something that's happening while that's going on. But my issue is, why are we budgeting $52 billion into the Department of Defense when we got so much shit going on here in the States?
Well, here we go. You want to talk about Syria?
Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, so go ahead. What do you
Listen, 71 of the 103 missiles that was fired were shot down.
Do you know how much those missiles cost? Did we discuss that?
We ain't discussed it. Let's go ahead and get into it, Kim.
They're like $1 million each. So if you fire, I think they fire 70 something missiles or 7 missiles.
And the missile company that make them has like a lucrative agreement with the U.S. government.
So we know that's the why. And when you start talking about why people are doing what they're doing, it's usually because of money. So that's why they cornerstone that much money for the Department of Defense, because obviously he's like showing off now. He wants to, like, you know, flex his muscles, his military muscles.
So this happened April 13th, Friday the 13th. The U.S., the UK, and France was involved. They bombed 3 government sites in Syria targeting chemical weapons. Now, Russia, along with Syria and Iran, have said that they have not used chemical weapons. They have denied it time and time again. They say that the media is fabricating the fact that they're using chemical weapons, but the U.S. not going for it. The U.S. not going for it. So just, you know, if you're not really understanding the reason of why the bombing is going or why World War III may be going on, because of chemical weapons.
So the United Nations, you know, is kind of like the meeting place for all the world leaders, right? So everybody gets together and they say, you know what? I don't think it's right that you have a weapon that could kill hundreds of thousands or if not millions of people. So it's our system, our honor system. Do you agree to this compromise that you're not going to have this stuff? And then, you know, each country agrees and they say yes, yes, yes. And then the other countries that say, okay, well, what do we do if somebody doesn't adhere to this agreement. And then they say, okay, well, we're with you. So far we have like France and somebody else on our side, right? So they're like, you know what? Syria has been using chemical weapons to kill their people. Syria has had a civil war going on. So the people that are against what they think is right, they've been gassing them. So the world is watching and they're like, yo, you can't just gas your people. You know what I'm saying? So that goes, so where did you even get this stuff to gas your people from? Because you told us you didn't have it. Just like we always say, like the weapons of mass destruction or whatever, they agreed to not have this shit. So they're using this stuff on their own people. So why do we get involved? Because they're not supposed to have it in the first place. It's not that we really care.
But let me simplify.
It's because they don't want you to have it, because we don't want you to be able to use it against me whenever you feel like it.
But let me simplify that for you. That's just like saying you taking vows, you getting married with somebody, you telling somebody that you gonna be the only person for me, but you still got hoes. So why get involved? Why get involved in somebody else's marriage? Why get involved in their issues?
Well,
that has nothing to do with us. If we got our own shit going on here,
it doesn't have anything to do with us. But as far as okay, so this is what we need to understand, and this is what I need everybody to understand. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
We are the world. We are the children. You know what that means? It's just one world. Like, it's not, everything affects everything. The weather, the ocean, the land, the air. Like, we are one world. So this is why we kind of have to just agree. Everything that you do affects me. Everything I do affects it. It's like the internet.
Right, but if you're not agreeing to that vow, and you fuck around and cheat, like I said, and they just fuck around and they just bomb us, what the fuck can we do about it at that point?
Okay, so you're supposed to be able to get approval from your country, and you're supposed to go through all this stuff to be able to.
Did Donald Trump get approval to bomb? Did he go through Congress?
Well, basically, okay, this is what happened. And we're going to talk about Congress and senators and all that stuff, too. I know that was something that we wanted to discuss. But when you don't do what you say that you're going to do, we reserve the right to enforce what we believe in. And that's what they're saying. So it's not, Syrians aren't really as upset as we think they might be. We're like, oh my God, what are they gonna do back to us? What they did was they bombed some military facilities, and it really wasn't as bad as I think we are, as the media is making it be.
71 of the 103 missiles that they fired, they countered it. So a lot of those missiles didn't even land. And the ones that did, like, there's no guarantee that it worked. And President Trump tweeted, mission accomplished. It's like, did you really accomplish your mission? Because what was your mission? What were you accomplishing? It's like the Syrians are like, okay, son, like, I see what you did, whatever. Because they did not even attack the Air Force base. And the Air Force base, they're using airplanes to gas the people. So it's like, what did you really do? He didn't do shit. The Syrians probably are like, okay. You know what I mean? You know that meme that it's Waka Flocka, and he's like, okay, like that's what the Syrians are like. Okay, like, you bombed us, and what? We still gonna do whatever we have to do, because the problem, you're physically fighting a spiritual problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to bomb people and stop them from doing stuff, but it's like the people that believe in truth and the people that believe in what they believe in are gonna fight the government tooth and nail, and they don't care, they're gonna die for it. That's the revolutionary spirit that we don't really have anymore. I think as the generations have gone on, you know what I mean? You think about, we just celebrated the 50th year of Martin Luther King's assassination, and it's like, that's something that we don't have in this country, and if anybody should have it, I think we should. You mean to tell me whoever decided to bomb Syria, that you're so concerned about them being gassed, but you're not concerned about Flint? You're not concerned about the innocent black people that keep getting killed by the cops. So you're not concerned about any of the innocent people that are getting killed over here, but you're so concerned about the agreement that you guys had with the United Nations. But you're not adhering to the agreement that you have with your people, which is our Constitution. That's why the world looks as a joke. You got to think about it. Like I said, $52 billion that we could be using for Flint, we could be using to put into our law enforcement, to make our law enforcement better. We could be putting into, having other things orchestrated for the homeless. Like, it's so much stuff we can do.
So many things we could do, and we're not doing it. But guess what? Because we're not making them do it. If we organized, and they call them extremists, and they call them, they make them out to be the bad guy. But if there were a time, and this is what they discourage us from doing, because as soon as they see a couple people would gather together, it's like, oh my God, what's going on? They're extremists and they're gonna blow up something. Like, that's their guilt. That's their shame. You know what I mean? Like, if we are together and if we even look like we're trying to get organized, they try to shut us down.
Listen, for more information on that, make sure y'all go to the Connecting the Dots Facebook page. Make sure y'all like and subscribe there.
Yeah, you can comment, because I usually post stuff at Chocolate Girl Wonder on Instagram. You know, if I post like a news story, whatever, feel free to comment, and I will definitely review your comment on this show.
All right.